Hey guys, so I haven't brought Cyber Dragon replays for a while, but here it is with a few matches in this new format where I'm using Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer instead of Dragoon in this list. For the deck list, you can just check out my most recent deck profile that I'll link below, so let's just get started. Alright, so for this first replay, we are going to go against Dogmatika Buster Dragoon, so it's a deck that was kind of in play a few formats ago, of course Rogue at best right now. Well, I mean, you know, honestly, it's still a good deck, I would think. So he's going to start off with the Inset and with the Red Eyes Fusion and bring out the Dragoon, which is not so popular anymore since the release of DP. Does have Nadir's Servant though, so that's pretty busted. Gonna send that Ash Dragon and we'll add the Ecclesia. Then he's just gonna set one and add the Fleur with the Ash Dragon in end phase. So, well, I have multiple outs to Dragoons, so I will just Kaiju that, special the Cyber Dragon, and summon the Naxxir, go into Anima. Unfortunately, I don't really have many Cyber Dragon plays with this hand, so we will still be able to do some hefty damage though, because Anima is at 3300. And so main 2, we will go into Anaconda and try to summon the DP, but unfortunately we are met with Nibiru. I really did not expect that, and normally not where you get Nibiru in this deck, but unfortunately our hand was pretty awkward, so we're just going to set 2 and pass turn here. And so for turn, opponent will summon the Ecclesia. I will of course imperm that, and will also negate that card in the middle column, whatever that is. And so we are going to take some big damage with the Nibiru. He's going to set 1 and pass. And my hand is just really bad. I mean, I just cyclone whatever he has set last, but really I just had no play, so I do scoop there. So on to game 2. So our opponent will start with the Buster Whelp. I will Ash that because I know that's pretty key in their line of play. So he's going to just go into Linkuriboh, set 2, pass. So I am going to start with the core. Unfortunately, it's met with Ash, although that is actually fine. At least it's better than getting Ash on Fusion Destiny. Although at this point, I realized I should have probably went into Mega Fleet first before activating this card, because now I'm locked into Dark Heroes and I can't special other than that. So I will just have to attack over Linkuriboh with the core and then attack directly with the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Main 2, just for contingency plan, and follow up I will just add a core. And we're just going to set 1 and pass. He is going to use Trap Trick, and he's going to put the Prologue. I will try to use DP's effect. He does have Dino-Miscus, so he's going to discard 1 and banish that, which means I still have to pop a card on my field, and so I have to destroy my own core. Fortunately, he does not have any other plays, so that's pretty good, but he did have a Veiler, so I am just going to stick with the core beatdown. And, well, unfortunately for him, he still has nothing, while I'm drawing pretty well. So I get what I needed, and I will just fast forward here, because you know what's coming next in terms of the Soldier Hearse play. So he is just going to scoop, and we will go into game 2. So game 2, I am forced to go first, so I will go Soldier Hearse play. And I'm just going to fast forward here, it is pretty standard. So we will just add the Soldier and Cyber Dragon, go into Nova, bring out the Cyber Dragon, and I'm actually going to bring out the Ash normal summon just to have enough bodies to go into Fusion Destiny, or rather Anaconda, to bring out the DPE. I'll have to force the negate the Imperm. He used the Nadir Servant. I'm not sure why I didn't Ash here. I think it was in my head, I was like, oh, I gotta save Ash with Red Eyes Fusion, but then I realized, oh wait, no, if you use Nadir, then he can't use Red Eyes Fusion. So yeah, unfortunate, but it's okay. I do use DP's effect. The Entis did pop it, but at least I get to Ash the Ecclesia, but he did have the Fleur. So they're just going to be able to attack all over it. They are all beefed up by 500. So main 2 is going to set 2. Pretty scary, but in standby, DP will come back, and I'm going to attempt to pop one of them. And I managed to pop a really strong one in. There can be only one, so that would really screw me. I'm going to set the ref system just so I can use Celestial's effect to draw 2, and it's not bad. We will use Naxxir. And I am trying to bring back the Nova so I can go into second Infinity, but well, looks like our opponent is just scooping here, so let's just go on to the second match. Alright, so for this second replay, we are going up against Swordsoul, which is a very popular deck post Burst of Destiny, and certainly a contender for being one of the best decks. So he's going to start out with the Incredible Ecclesia. I will try to Ash that. He does have talents though. He's going to draw 2. I much prefer that than him trying to shuffle a card out of my hand. So for turn, we are going to start off with the Emergency, go with the core. Unfortunately, it's met with Chalice, which sucks because then machine dupe is not very efficient. So I decided to just hold off on it and just poke first and just set the droplet. He's going to start off with the Long Yawn, which means he'll get the token, and now this grants him access to the Fleur. And so he does have that Omni Negate plus a pop. It's kind of like a mini Dragoon, and he's going to just pop the droplet. I didn't bother using it, so I let him just attack. So I am just going to use the Repair Plant to add a Light Machine. He is forced to negate because if he's aware, I can add a Kaiju. But at least now I can use Core's effect, Specialty Hers, try to machine dupe. Unfortunately, it is met with yet another chalice, so I have to bring out a Hers instead of Cyber Dragon, and I decided to just bring out one instead of two Herses, because, you know, there's not much point to it. And with Hers effect, I'll just add the other Hers, and you can do that if you have multiple Hers in the graveyard. And with Anaconda, I will send the Fusion Destiny for the DP and pop the Fleur, and of course remember to trigger DP's effect when it's destroyed, but unfortunately we're only going to be able to attack with Anaconda, but DP does come back. On his turn, tie it. I'm just going to pop it before he can even banish to try to special token. I will Ash because he was trying to use the draw effect with the TTT, and so it's pretty good. The Dasher's effect in draw phase, we're going to special out the Naxter. We're going to normal her so that we have nothing in hand, so that we can use Celestial's effect to draw 2, and we get even more extenders. So we are going to bring out the Seeger with Hers effect. We're going to just add back that Naxter, and we're actually going to special it using its own effect this time. And with Naxter's effect, well, my opponent just scoops there. So on to game 2. Our opponent is looking to go first again, so this seems to be pure. It's not the Tenyi variant, I believe, so he's going to start off with the Moe, reveal the Taya to special out token. And with that, we'll go into the Swordmaster, or Grandmaster rather. Going to add the Summit. Long Yawn, which means now he has the Fleur access. So now with the Long Yawn, I also take 1200 burn damage, and if that's the trap, which is essentially their Icarus attack, you know, it's really actually pretty hard to get through, even though it's not some crazy like, you know, tier 1 Dragon Link board or something like that. It's, you know, it covers a lot of ground, so you do still have to respect it. So he's gonna negate the Prosperity, and of course gonna negate the Core. So I go into All Mirage, but luckily I had all the stuff I needed, and so I will just add the Soldier. And also I expected that to be that trap, so the All Mirage can be helpful, and I also have the ref system, so really in terms of extenders I sort of had the perfect hand for that. I just didn't have any going second cards really. So he is of course trying to pop. I will protect one of the soldiers, and so I can at least now use ref system, and I can try to go into Nova, but unfortunately it's met with Nibiru. That really hurt. I thought I had it here in terms of swinging things around, but despite the extenders, just can't play through all that, plus the Nibiru. So he's gonna use the Summit for turn, bring back the Taya, use that effect, banish a card, engrave to summon that token, and of course the trap triggers as well because it's banished, so it's gonna bring out another token. He's going to go into Baxia, which I just had to scoop there. You know, I wasn't coming back from that. So we are moving on to the next game, and we are still trying to go second here. And we do have the Imperm, which isn't terrible. So he's going to start with the Emergence. Add the Taya. Normal the Taya. I will try to Imperm here, and fortunately it looks like that actually did something. So we have a pretty good hand here. We're going to special the Cyber Dragon, normal the core and use its effect, met by Chalice unfortunately. So, you know, at this point I decided, should I just go into DP and just take things slow, or do I just try to really, you know, push through, right? I also don't know what the other set is, but I decided to go with the really, you know, just OTK play, which was very susceptible to Nibiru, and I was just dreading it coming down, but I wanted to just finish him off. Unfortunately, he does have the Nibiru, and I get super punished. That really hurt. Again, I was just trying to finish him off. Well, but you know, it doesn't work out sometimes, and you try to go for the big play. And so now it's swinging. He does have the Fusion Destiny and DPE, and he's able to pop and just triggers effect and has the Nibiru for a big booty. And so now for turn, well, standby, DPE will come back. I will try to use Core's effect to bring out the Hers. And then I'll go into Anima. Hers is going to trigger. Add the Cyber Dragon. This will force out the DPE. So I'm going to try to suck it, but he does have the Chalice, so that's not what I expected. So now I'm going to add the Kaiju to really force out the DPE. And so he will just pop the anima. I don't know what that last set is, but at this point I can at least try to do some Cyber Dragon plays. And so it is, Jizuku is a light of course, so I can still use it for Galaxy Soldier fodder, and Galaxy Soldier will just add itself. Although I won't be able to summon it because I have nothing else in hand. And we will go into Nova and special out the Cyber Dragon. Go into Infinity. We are going to suck up that Nibiru. And for battle, we will attack. And so, you know, DP is coming back though, unfortunately. But we did sort of clear that board. For main, he's going to set and he is going to try to draw 2. I decided, you know what, DP is just going to go over Infinity anyway. So let's just negate that. He has the TTT though, so he can just draw 2. So it really did not matter. So, and he, wow, rips the Moi with the Long Yuan. Pretty good draw, and I unfortunately admit defeat here. That Nibiru really hurt, but let's move on to the next game. Alright, so yet another deck that's popular post BODE is Live Twins or Evil Twins, and it's because of the new link for Trouble Sunny, and it really changes that deck quite a bit, and I really like this deck. It's rather interesting. So he's gonna start off with the Password and add the Snitch, and with the Snitch he's gonna add the Leela. He's gonna normal the Leela. I will try to Imperm here to just prevent the body from coming out. But he does have the Frost to extend through and just special from the hand. So he's gonna link off into the 2. I always get their 2 names confused. Kill. Bring back the Leela. Go into the blue one. Bring back the purple or pink, I don't know. And he's able to just draw 1 and then link off into that new card, Trouble Sunny. So fortunately we have the Kaiju that really helps in this matchup. So we are going to special the Cyber Dragon. And we're going to start off with the Soldier and Hers play first, just to bait out that set because we want Core to resolve, because then we can kind of play around it and extend that way. He is going to Imperm the Soldier, which really is not very efficient because, I mean, I already had the 2 level 5s on board, so you know Nova's coming out. So we will just bring out the Hers with Nova's effect. Gonna go into Infinity, and now we summon the Core and use that effect. And we'll just add the Ref System for that extra extender, just in case something happens. We are just looking to kill him this turn. And I realized this whole time I should be taking burn damage, while my opponent should be gaining because of the Snitch. But I mean, you know, it's gonna be game anyway, so I guess he didn't really bother. I'm not sure. So we will just suck up that Kaiju. We leave that till the end in case our opponent has Gamma. So he does scoop here. So we are going straight to game 2, and he is going to opt to go first again. We do have Droll and Imperm, so that's pretty good. So our hand is not bad. So we are going to Imperm here again. I'm trying to do it right at the beginning just to prevent them from setting anything up, and it looks like it actually worked this time. So we will start off with the Emergency at our trusty Core. And we're just gonna blow off the back row. Not too great anyway. So unfortunately we don't really have an OTK line of play here, so we will have to use Prosperity and just, well, try to get some extenders. So, and that's the good thing with Prosperity, you know, you're not trying to OTK all the time, and a lot of times your hand's just not that good, and you just want to set up something for the follow-up. So in that case, you know, since you weren't going to OTK anyway, Prosperity is half damage, really doesn't matter too much. Unfortunately we do get hit by the Veiler, so we can't go into the Nova Infinity play. But we at least have the Naxir to just bring out that extra body. The Hers, I'm just going to add back the Core, so I have a follow-up for next turn. And we will just go into Anaconda here and just use that effect and send the Fusion Destiny. And bring out DPE. And we are going to enter battle. He's taking half damage because of Pot. The math I think was incorrect here because he actually should have lost 400 attack because of DP's effect, but I mean it's fine. So the whatever the blue effect bring out the Frost, and so at this point I decide to pop one of them with DPE, and of course remember to use that effect. And this whole time I didn't even get to use Droll, so he's gonna set 1. And so draw the Ghost Ogre. You'll notice I didn't have this, I don't think, in my deck profile. I'm trying it out. I'm not sure how much I like it, but you know, it's a pretty good card. Unfortunately, DP is met with Solemn Strike. I believe I could have actually just still triggered its effect Engrave though, but I guess I just forgot here. But it didn't matter. It's because I had Anaconda already, and I was going to be able to just bring out the Rampage for game. so that I didn't really bother. So that was it. Alright guys, so normally I only do 3 replays in these videos, but I thought I'd do another one just because this was a really interesting deck. It was a Rokket Orcust, so it was pretty cool to see. He is going to start off with the recharge and bring out the Tracer. Gonna go into Striker Dragon, of course, of course add the Boot Sector. And just gonna use that effect to add back the Tracer to hand, use Boot Sector, special out the Tracer along with the Recharger, and use Tracer's effect. And he's gonna special out a card that I really never have seen, which is Rokket Caliber. Gonna go into Chaos Ruler. He will just mill 5 here. So from here I see that, you know, it's a very interesting, like, it has some trap control components and combo component, of course. Gonna summon the Mech Knight, Gearsu, and gonna Foolish the Nightmare. So, and oh, I think he sent an extra card by mistake, so he's gonna send the Babel, banish that, so that he can special out the Nightmare. So this is good old Orchest plays. Remember when they were tier 1, really have fallen off since the Harp Horror ban. So he's gonna go into Savage. And with the Galatea, I was expecting the Crescendo, but he's actually going to send the Return. So we're going to start with the Lightning Storm. We're going to choose Monster to force that Savage out, and then now we're going to go with the Spell Trap, but looks like he had the Crescendo anyways. But it doesn't matter, because we know that other set is the Return, which isn't going to do anything. So we will just use Prosperity. So we just have to worry about potential hand traps. But now we do have pretty good extenders at this point, so we are looking pretty good. So we're going to special out the Cyber Dragon, going to bring out the Core, use that effect, and we're going to go with the Overflow. We know we can't kill him this turn. I mean, we also use Prosperity, so we want to make sure that we can set up some kind of follow-up. So we will go into Mega Fleet. You could actually also use Fortress because it's a machine, but might as well use the Mega Fleet while you can and save the Fortress for later down the line if it comes up. So you can use, we can try to use Soldier's effect. It doesn't matter, it gets met with the Veiler. Again, doesn't matter, we have 2 level 5 bodies on board, so that really doesn't do anything. And so we will bring out the Cyber Dragon with the Nova, go into Infinity, and go into Anaconda, use that effect. And again, we're doing all this before sucking up the Savage, just so he has a monster on board so that he can't use Gamma if he's playing it. So now that we've activated all the effects, we will just suck up the Savage with the Infinity and attack. And of course, I remind him he should be taking half damage because of Prosperity, and we will just destroy the Return with the DPE and just trigger that effect. And we also have the Overflow, so we're looking pretty good. Stand by, it's gonna come back. He's gonna use the not Harp Horror, rest in peace, Nightmare's effect. Send his Symbol Skeleton. Bring the Galatea. At this point, I don't want her effect to trigger, so we will just pop that with DPE. And our bonus scoops, because I also have the Overflow, and it's sort of hard to play through that on top of the Infinity Negate. So we are going into game 2, and so he is going to go first again, starting off with that Prosperity. Only banishing 3, so he must have a pretty good hand. So adds the black, or rather, never mind, he's going to actually add back the Recharger. Summon the Caliber, go into Striker Dragon, use that effect, add the Boot Sector launch. Gonna set one, and now we see some Mech Knight stuff, and so he will just use that purple effect and get the Gearsu. Use Striker, gonna add back the Caliber, gonna use Boot Sector launch, special out the Recharger and the Caliber, set one, and then Caliber's effect. He's gonna be able to summon out the Gearsu and use that effect. I will have to imprint here, at least I feel like that's the best, but perhaps I'm wrong. And so he is gonna go into Galatea, and then go into Dingirsu. So the Lightning Storm is nice, but unfortunately Dingirsu will be able to protect it, so it doesn't matter too much. So I was a little bit scared here, but again, they are machines, so we can't just fuse it away for Fortress. The downside is, now that we have face-up cards, we can't use Lightning Storm, so really the card ended up being dead for me. And so at this point, I do go into Fortress, and we are going to use the Repair Plant and add the Hers. And of course, we are going to use the Soldier Hers play, add the Soldier, or rather Cyber Dragon and the Soldier. Go into Nova, Opponent's really not doing anything, so at this point I'm thinking the sets aren't really all that much. So we go into Anaconda and we are trying to go for game here, and we're actually going to banish 3 monsters with the Overload Fusion just so we can pop everything, at least his back row, I mean. And looks like one of them was the Succession, but I mean, probably should have done that before, but I can negate it. So that's it for that match. Alright guys, so that was it for this month's round of Cyber Dragon replays, this time featuring gameplay involving DPE. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to test using Dragoon again to see what I really like, and we will see which boss monster I'll be going along with Infinity in this stack. Take care guys.